Jamie. I'm co-director of DanceFest Productions. And this is Katherine Maxwell, who we have the pleasure of working with. Wonderful person, incredible artist, and she will be sharing with us some today. Can you tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do?
Hi, everyone. I hope you're staying safe and healthy wherever you are. I am up in Brooklyn right now. I am Katherine Maxwell. I'm a contemporary choreographer and the founding artistic director of Hivewild Dance Company. We are based in Brooklyn, trying to stay safe right now amongst all the pandemic wildness. But anyways, yeah, I founded Hivewild in 2016 and have been creating work as an independent choreographer since 2013. That's that's a little bit about who I am. I also am a certified personal trainer, and if I'm being completely honest, I supplement my income by training folks and keeping bodies moving, which is exciting. And I've actually started to be able to, after all this time, this quarantine has allowed me to start bringing these two worlds together and learning that although creating work and making work for dancers and movers, it's not all that different. And it's really fun to teach class online with folks, dancers and non-dancers alike, and to bring the community together and to just be honoring moving the body no matter what you know or what you don't know. So that's been exciting.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. And I think especially during this quarantine, it's been super cool to see how the world is sort of coming together, especially artists in really all different corners of the industry. People that might not have necessarily crossed paths before are collaborating and working together online. It's super cool to watch. And so I love that you're experiencing that too. It's super great. So right now in quarantine, what's something that you are sort of doing for yourself? Obviously you're staying active and keeping yourself moving, but you're also in New York where it's extra crazy. The whole country is experiencing some craziness right now, but you guys have been hit super hard. So tell us a little bit about what you're doing.
Definitely taking self-quarantining very seriously. If anyone's having doubts about that, I highly recommend continuing to self-quarantine, trying to stay healthy and safe by washing hands, staying inside a whole bunch is super important. And trying to find structure and balance between not feeling guilty about being too productive and making space for just being. I feel like despite a lot of the challenges that this time is presenting as the folks who are being asked to self-quarantine, I'm trying to see the silver lining of the situation, which I find is about slowing down and recentering. And that's been a big focus for me, trying to do the things that I need to nourish myself, to nourish my creative self, but also trying to nourish those ways in making things or putting things out and continuing to share or sharing parts of my work that I haven't shared before, but at the same time, embracing rest, embracing reading and meditating. I think just striking the balance right now has been really key for me.
Will you talk a little bit about your transition to New York? Because we have a lot of followers who are young, advanced dancers that are considering, okay, maybe taking the college route, maybe moving somewhere and starting to dance, maybe doing both, sort of like where you went, going to college and then taking the transition to New York.
I think getting to know the city or any new place is important to test it out. And I think that I was given that guidance. So before I moved, I had a couple small times where I would spend a long weekend in the city and try to investigate going to taking class at different studios and meeting different people. And then the summer before I moved, I did an 8-week program in the city. And that was really helpful to start to have a little taste, a little flavor about the contemporary artists that were being promoted at that time, to start to get a sense of the community and the environment. I definitely would say that there are inevitable advantages to going to school up near New York, if that's something that's on your radar, or wherever. If you have a certain company in a certain, in Brussels or in LA that is, you know, inspiring to you, then spending time out there, wherever it is, New York is obviously one of those options, is super key to start to have a sense of the environment, the community, getting to know more people. That's really, I think, important, and not feeling like you just have to make a decision one day and move there. Like, there's always possibilities to like get programs or scholarships or shorter term periods so you can get to know the dance community in that city. And New York for me was that city that I was interested in getting to know.
When did you know that you wanted to be a choreographer?
Through high school and college, I was nudged or provided opportunities, or was curious about like flexing the choreography muscle to see if that was something I was interested in. And I think through college, reflecting back, that was something I was finding myself interested in, and maybe not even realizing that it was something that clicked for me in the way that it did. But when I moved to New York, you know, I didn't know all that many people, but there was a few folks here that I did know. And so, of course, when you're auditioning and taking class, it can be intimidating. And so the natural reaction to that felt like, for me and the few folks that I did know, was like, oh, well, if we can't be dancing for someone, let's make those opportunities and dance for ourselves. And what I found surprising in a very good way was that New York offers a lot of emerging artists opportunities to present your work. It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get paid for it. And it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to see a mind-blowing, you know, piece after piece after piece, because it's a platform and an opportunity to experiment. And so with those opportunities presenting themselves through different online platforms or submissions, and the desire and craving to be dancing, those two worlds came together. I was like, okay, well, if I'm not dancing for this company right now that I wish I was, I need to keep dancing. I got to make myself move. And as that continued to be explored, I found myself more and more excited and drawn towards making work than dancing for other artists. So it all started to really fall together that way. And I'm a big believer in listening to the direction you're being called and trying things out and finding what you're passionate in, but also like, if the like universal currents are taking you in a direction. And for me, that was like opportunities to choreograph and affirmations once I was creating work, and new opportunities presenting themselves because I had presented my work in this first place. It felt only natural to keep going. And that's, for me, I think, where it all started.
Do you have any advice for dancers that are in a creative process?
Keep an open mind and try to pay attention to embodying the movement as they are presenting it, as opposed to like, oh, this is like that turn I did in this other piece. That's what that is. And paying attention to the subtle details and intricacies of the choreographer that's in front of you is super key, because that is the key, I believe, to being a successful contemporary dancer.
So for that, and you just say what your preference is.
Amazing.
Okay, ready? Jumps or turns?
Jumps.
Grand allegro or petit allegro?
Grand allegro.
Parallel or turned out pirouette?
Parallel.
Across the floor or center?
Across the floor.
Ballet or jazz?
Jazz. Ballet.
Isadora Duncan or Martha Graham?
Graham.
What's your favorite color?
Turquoise, teal, blue.
Favorite choreographer ever?
Ohad or Pina?
Coffee or tea?
Coffee, no doubt.
Thank you so much for taking time.
Sure.
And for
Hope I wasn't too long-winded.